Okay, so we are coming to you
Live. No,
live,
not live.
recorded from
Sapporo.
the main city in Hokkaido, the most northern island of Japan. Somewhere that we've wanted to go for a long time.
Yeah, interesting fact. It's actually colder in Iwakuni where we live than it is here in Hokkaido, despite the fact that we travel 2 hours north by plane.
Yeah, we travelled very far north. We've travelled from the equivalent of Gibraltar to London, and the temperature doesn't seem to have changed that much. There's a lot more snow, and it's really pretty. It's a really beautiful city. Lots of snow, but everybody told us it was going to be freezing, and it's not.
It's not. They don't know. We made a snowman. That was exciting.
Yeah, what was that snowman called again?
You'll have to edit it in later.
Okay, I will totally edit it in later.
Do it in my voice. You're like, I think it's Kazumi.
Kazuki Taniguchi.
Something.
Yeah, so Kazumi-chan is downstairs, our
Yeah.
snowman.
And because we're not in England, he'll probably still be there in the morning. Like, if we'd have made a snowman in England and we left it overnight, we would have come back in the morning and we've had his face kicked in or somebody pissed on him.
I know you're just going to say it melted, but yeah, it would have been vandalised, yeah.
Yeah. So, what did we do today, Alfie?
We got up very early and got on a Shinkansen,
Yeah.
and then we got on a plane.
No. First of all, you made a taxi driver wait. Because
I
you
did
weren't
not
ready.
make him wait.
He was so angry. He was like turning blue.
We booked a taxi for 8 o'clock. I arrived down at the taxi at 7:58.
Yeah, but he'd been there for like 10 minutes already. I know it's his company's fault too, but...
Went through Fukuoka Airport, which is a very cheap airport.
Our plane was delayed. It was.
Yes.
Only about 40 minutes.
Our plane was delayed. So that was annoying.
What was exciting though is I snuck some crisps on the plane, and they are inflated in the overhead compartment.
Yeah, this is very necessary information. Yeah, we've got a hot scoop. Hot scoop on what planes...
I
What happens
didn't know.
to potato products in planes? Why can't I say crisps? I couldn't just say crisps there.
I don't know. Maybe because you felt that the podcast needs more alliteration. Potato products.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my crisps like inflated in the overhead compartment, and there was a moment where I was worried that if I opened them they might explode and go everywhere, but it didn't. So it was fine.
We flew with Peach Airlines, a very cheap airline in Japan, and they have very, very small planes.
Yeah.
One of the smallest planes I've ever been on. I could not really fit into the seat.
You haven't been on Ryanair though.
Yeah, I've been on Ryanair. It was smaller than Ryanair. Because the person in front of us,
Yeah, you're jabbing into a
a
back.
very polite Japanese woman, ended up showing her how uncomfortable she was, and that's quite rare for a polite Japanese woman.
Yeah, but I apologise profusely and shogunai, so.
And then I stuck my legs out in the aisle.
Like a frog.
Well, they should make them for, like, proper-sized people. I'm the future of the human
You
race.
are-
This is how we're evolving. We're
you're
getting taller.
You're a genetic freak.
I'm not. This is the future.
I had tons of leg room.
Just a tiny, tiny
You'd have
person.
lined everybody up by height in the airplane. You'd have been 2 miles away from everyone else.
Yeah,
being
we're
in the
talking about
freak
Japanese
zone.
people who have a very different diet. A diet that is not built for growing high.
There was a bunch of Americans on the plane as well.
Yeah, Americans are weirdly short for some reason. I think it's...
Did we just banish all of the short people to the new world?
Well, being tall in the old age times was a sign of nobility, actually.
So, all the common folk?
All the common folk were malnourished and, like, hunched over.
I'm plenty
Sure.
nourished.
Yeah, but when you eat a lot, you should grow. Like, you just missed out the growing part.
All the boys in my family are tall. I'm a girl, I'm not supposed to be tall.
No, you're very cute and small.
Like a button. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Today, Alfie and I went to an adult ice cream parlour.
Adult? Ooh.
You have to put a jingle in there. like a sexy jingle. So, over 18 only ice cream. And, yeah.
Actually, it's Japan, so shouldn't it be over
21?
Yeah, over 21.
Maybe. I don't know. So, like, Alfie was like, Hokkaido's famous for ice cream. I found this place.
It was the top rated
The
ice
best.
cream parlor on Google.
The best ice cream parlor in Japan. No, in Hokkaido. And it turns out that it's actually, like, a liqueur and ice cream bar.
So, the ice cream bar, what was it called? Milk Village.
Yeah, actually, there was a bit of a story actually getting to it. So it said on Google Maps that it was behind the hotel. So we went behind the hotel and it was just this like dark alley with men kicking boxes and smoking with handkerchiefs on their head.
That's not quite how I remember it, but go on.
Yeah. And yeah, so we're wandering around. And we're not the only people wandering around. There's like a bunch of people with their smartphones. To be fair, they could have been doing Pokemon Go because that's still popular with old people in Japan. But we think maybe they were looking for the same milk place that we were.
I got made fun of for playing Pokemon Go by a Chinese guy a few months ago. I wasn't even playing Pokemon Go.
China didn't even have Pokemon Go.
Well,
Like ages. They had this weird Chinese version of Pokemon Go that was like little girls that you could capture or something.
Well, he kind of wants to be Japanese.
Oh. That's sad.
I don't know. He's a student here. He really likes it.
Just be comfortable in your own skin, guys. That's my heartfelt and wholesome message
He definitely wants to live in Japan forever.
for this podcast. So yeah. So we're
Milk
wandering
Village.
around, and I woke up to this guy's like kicking crates, and I think he's on his cigarette break, and I'm like, excuse me, do you know where the Milk Village is? And he's like, you what? Like, he's proper like not used to talking to people, let alone gaijins, and he's just like, what? And I'm like, Milk Village, I show him my phone, he just takes my phone off me and looks at it, and he's like, what? No, this, right? And he wanders around. He's really sweet, actually, and he takes us around looking for it for a while, and then he decides that it is the place that he thought it might be, and then he showed us where the elevator was. And he was really sweet about it, but, yeah. He was a bit of a
Gruff. man.
a gruff man. So we went up, and then, like, we get there, and it's this cute little door. It's like out of a children's television program or something. And I look at the list, and it's all, like, hard liquors. And I'm like, where's the ice cream?
Let's do a bit of a better description of the door, just then it's like it's out of a children's program. How would you describe this door in detail?
Okay, so it was bright green, and it had Milk Village written on it in handwritten Comic Sans kind of font. And there was these little cute wooden woodland creatures like stapled around the door with fairy lights and bells and some fake ivy stapled around the door. So it did look like the way into fairyland or something.
It reminded me a bit of Santa's Grotto.
Yeah. Come, little children, we will ply you with alcohol. So I was looking at the list, and it's just all these liqueurs, and I'm like, Alfie, I'm not sure this is an ice cream bar. So we peer in the window, and then we see that, in fact, they do have ice cream, and I'm like, okay, it's good. So we try to go in, and this woman's like, how many people? And we're like, 2 of us. And she's like, okay, here's this, like, Daiso magnet with the number 10 written on it in, like, felt tip pen. Go and wait in the stairwell.
Yeah, that was the waiting area.
For half an hour. She's like, go wait in the stairs. And she said all this in Japanese, so I'm thinking, did I mishear her? Did I hear that right? Did she say wait in the stairwell? So I wander over, and then there's like about 20 people looking really bored, holding these little plastic Daiso magnets, waiting in the stairway.
A very narrow stairwell.
A very, like, emergency stairway. So if there's, like, a fire or an earthquake, everyone is dying in this building because you can't get down the escape. And, yeah, they all look super pissed as well. Like, oh my god, more people have come. And I asked this couple if I can go and sit on the stairs above them, and she's like, no, you must go down. New people must go down. So we like went down half a flight of stairs to get to the end of the queue. So I just stood in this stairway for ages wondering, have we made a mistake? We don't have to go here. Maybe we should just leave. Maybe we should just leave our magnet and go. And
Abandon our magnet.
we don't know what we've
It's got to
gotten
fend
into.
for itself now. It's a man.
We don't know what we got ourselves into. And, yeah. But I say we do it anyway. I was like, what's the worst that can happen? And there was definitely ice cream in it for us. And then we get cold eventually. Like, a huge group of people go in before us, and the snotty old couple go in before us, and then we go in. And then when we get in, it's like a little fairy tale land again, with like coloured chairs and fairy lights everywhere and little pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it's like a fairy tale speakeasy.
And everyone's holding these teeny tiny spoons and pouring stuff over their like spoonfuls of ice cream. Everybody's doing it. It's like a weird spooning cult.
Yeah, what? So you have very tiny wine glass type things, each one filled with a liqueur. And we got 2 each, or you could get 3 each. We chose to get 2 and get a
Like
crepe
a set.
along with it. And then you take the liqueur from inside this tiny, really thin, magical looking wine glass thing. And then you take it with the tiniest measuring spoon. And then you take a proper big spoon, and then you take a spoonful of ice cream, and then you ladle the liqueur over your ice cream and then eat it.
It is some seriously Alice in Wonderland type shit. Like, here's your ice cream spoon and your liqueur spoon. Now ladle your liqueur over the ice cream. To be honest, it was really nice.
Yeah, I really liked it.
And it was a fun experience.
The ice cream came in
a beer glass, like a frosted beer glass, so it stayed cold as well. And that was really nice. I think it's locally made because this is Hokkaido, and it was really creamy.
Yeah, Hokkaido is famous for its dairy products, by the way. That's why we ended up going here.
Yeah, they put butter in everything. No. Yeah, so that was just really weird, but also really fun, because we were just like, let's get ice cream, and then we had this whole experience. And it did feel a bit Clockwork Orange, because they've got milk bars there, and then it's like drugs in it, but this was a milk bar.
Drugs in it. Yeah.
Don't
It's
do
a
drugs.
milk bar, but it's alcohol in it.
Don't do drugs, kids. But it was a milk bar, but it was a liqueur milk bar. I think you could put whiskey on your ice cream as well, but I don't think that.
Hokkaido also famous for whiskey.
Yeah, Alfie is becoming the ambassador for Hokkaido tourism as of right now.
Oh, I got the job.
Yeah, I have given you the job.
Oh, thank you so much. I won't let you down.
I have no authority.
This is an amazing opportunity.
Don't-
I'm happy to work with you all.
Don't fluff it up, Alfie. Don't fluff it up. Yeah. So the spoons were just so teeny tiny. And then they gave you another cup of ice cream. And they were really, like, aggressive about when you could have your second
No,
cup of ice
The,
cream.
the problem was that you ate yours faster than mine. That was the problem.
That wasn't a problem, because I said I was happy to wait for you to finish. And then another person was like, ice cream now. To be honest, they were super popular, and I can understand why they wanted people to be flowing in and out, but it was kind of a bit rude.
Let's just explain what happened there. So,
No,
you-
leave it a mystery.
you got your flagon of ice cream that you take spoonfuls out of and then
And decorate with liqueurs.
Yeah. And you get 2 flagons. So once you finish your first flagon, they'll give you another one.
A flagon is being a bit generous.
Well, okay, your first mug.
It's like a beer mug.
Your first beer mug of ice cream.
Yeah.
So I was savouring mine and going through it slowly. But Jess finished hers.
Mine was melting.
Yeah. You say that you had less.
Yeah, I'll show you later. Like, I had less, and it was melting. I don't think my cup was out of the freezer.
Mine was melting quite a lot as well, actually.
Yeah, so I wanted to eat it before it turned into cream.
I like the cream. But, yeah, so I was maybe 2/3 of the way through my cup.
Hmm.
And then you'd finished yours, so you asked for your refill.
I did.
Yeah, but I wasn't ready for mine, and then they said they had to be refilled at the same time,
Which was news to me.
and then they tried to get me to do my refill, but I wasn't finished with mine yet, and then I was pressured into getting mine refilled before I was finished, and I don't feel like I got my money's worth. Though they did actually give me too much ice cream, and I felt a bit sick afterwards,
Yes,
so
I
maybe
don't
it was
know
a blessing
why.
in disguise.
Yeah, his family think that full is when you literally cannot eat anymore because your stomach is tripled in size and you can't really walk anymore. And if you can't do those things and you're not at that state, then you could probably eat. Especially your dad and your Uncle Robin.
Hmm.
Yeah, name dropping, whoop whoop whoop. they don't care. They don't know what the internet is.
Yeah, Jess knows my Uncle Robin. Let's do a review of the ice cream place.
Okay.
So let's rate it on the decor.
The decor was
And I rate it on the food, including the drinks.
atmosphere.
Well, that's in the... Okay, would that not be in decor?
No!
Well,
Decor is how it looks. Atmosphere is how it makes you feel.
yeah, but how...
The
It made me
vibe.
feel depended a lot on how it looked.
Well, that's not true.
Perhaps we should have sorted out this criteria earlier.
You can cut all this out.
No, it's fine. We'll keep going. So, how do we want to rate it?
I think we should go with taste for the food, the atmosphere and the vibe and the way that you felt when you're in the restaurant, the aesthetics of the restaurant, and waiting time and price.
Okay.
Maybe not in that order.
All right.
So-
So, how do you feel about the taste? Because surely that's one of the most important things.
Yes, I think that the taste was very good. I had no expectations going in because I didn't know what to expect. It was a little bit unusual, but the liqueur and ice cream really did go quite well together, and I enjoyed the taste. And the ice cream as well was very high quality just on its own.
Yeah, it's some.
So I give it 5 snowflakes out of 5.
Snowflakes out of 5.
Really?
I was gonna make fun of your journalist skills there because you said it was very good, and that was pretty much it. But you brought it together at the end with 5 snowflakes out of 5.
Oh, we're in Hokkaido. I'm going to rate things by snowflake. What did you think of the taste?
I thought it was very creamy. I could definitely taste the dairy that Hokkaido is famous for.
You can't use snowflakes. You have to use something else.
Alright, I'll do 5 ice crystals.
That is just a snowflake under another name.
So I thought that it was a really nice tasting ice cream, and that it was really creamy. After I ate a flagon and a half, because I
Yeah.
didn't get to eat 2, the taste I kind of lost the taste of it a bit.
Yeah, I think the first few bites tasted a little bit orangey. But I did read that they put an orange liqueur in when they make the ice cream, so I
I
might
could
have
totally
been...
taste that. I knew that there was some kind of liqueur in the ice cream.
Yeah, okay. Then I wasn't just I didn't psychologically decide that that was a thing if you could taste it.
I'm very sensitive to the taste of alcohol because I don't like it very much.
So-
So yeah, I could definitely taste it, but it wasn't overpowering.
No, it was
No.
just nice. But by the time you've eaten the ice cream with the other liqueurs and the crepe and the
Yogurt.
that yogurt was so nice. It was really rich, and it was kind of offset by the ice cream because the ice cream was really cold and the yogurt was served at room temperature, and it was
Yeah.
like a really thick, creamy kind of more like clotted cream, but with that distinctive tanginess that yogurt comes
It
with.
was very, very tangy actually, the yogurt. You
And-
could definitely tell that it was fresh and
Yeah.
it was really delicious. Probably one of my favourite parts of it. It came in like a little muffin paper cup thing.
Yeah. That made it quite hard to get it out.
Yeah, it was tricky to eat, and I kind of wanted to lick the paper afterwards, but
That-
we were in two cramped quarters.
We were sat
together,
right at the
but-
counter,
Yeah.
so that would not have gone down well.
I should have just made eye contact with the staff.
while you were
Asserted
licking,
dominance.
while you were licking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the yogurt was delicious. The crepe, we got a crepe
the crepe
with
was
it.
really dry.
My crepe was also really dry. I actually almost hiccuped after eating it because it was so dry.
Is that your dry limit? Once you get too dry, you have to hiccup, or
Yeah, does that
there's
not-
no point of return.
Does eating something dry not make you hiccup?
Just breathing makes me hiccup. Come on, you know me.
Well, when I eat like a stale piece of bread that's really dry,
Are you a duck?
Right,
Why are you
but-
eating stale bread?
because, alright, it's happened a few times.
There have been times.
It gets very cold in Whitley Bay, and then the
So,
bread
you
turns
have to
dry.
Huddle up with some stale bread to keep warm,
Well, this is why I ended up.
and then you eat it
This is why I really enjoy fresh bread or bread that's a little bit soggy for
because
some
you feel
reason.
like you're being treated to something special.
Yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, the crepe was quite dry. But
I thought the crepe was very subpar. Really, it didn't have much of a taste to
Yeah.
it. It was actually kind of powdery when I chewed it. It was very disappointing crepe. It was definitely the worst part of the meal.
Yeah,
It didn't ruin it,
no.
but I was not a fan.
So my recommendation, if you want to go there, is to get the B set, not the. Oh, mind you miss out on the yogurt.
The yogurt was worth it.
Yeah.
That was a really nice yogurt.
Just throw a crap at someone. Nobody
You also
cares.
got little anko beans in a
Yes.
tiny teacup.
They were soaked in rum.
I know. So I ate both mine and Jess's because she doesn't like azuki beans.
It's not that I don't like beans. It's like beans don't like me, so I don't like them back.
Well, I think that they taste very nice. And yeah, they came in a tiny teacup, and then you're supposed to pour them onto your
Ice cream.
in the same way that you did with your liqueurs. So you got 4 in one of those tiny teacups. Each of them had 4. And I found that mine was very rum soaked and that yours weren't for some reason.
Probably where they were in the jar.
Yeah, so they're variable. With
Well,
yours, I could barely taste the rum.
it's
With
really-
mine, I could taste almost exclusively the rum.
Handmade stuff. You're gonna have a variety of quality variations. Anyway, we've talked about the taste for far too long,
No, we haven't, because we haven't got through everything. We haven't got to the liqueurs.
but we already gave it 5 snowflakes.
You gave it 5. This is my
You-
review that
you
we're on
gave
now
it
that you
5.
keep hijacking.
You gave it 5 ice.
No, I said I was going to do it out of 5.
You're not giving it 5.
Well, maybe. You'll have to wait and see.
I don't want
Now would be a
to.
good time for an ad break. If we were monetized in any way.
I don't think anybody's listening, Alfie. No need to worry about monetizing our video.
So, yeah. What liqueurs did you get?
Oh yeah, so we got a tea flavoured liqueur
On the house.
for free that I think they give to everyone. So it's not really like for free. It's like part of the set.
Service. That's what
Yeah.
they said as they put it down.
Darjeeling tea. It was a Darjeeling tea flavoured liqueur, and it did go with the ice cream really well, but it was a very strong tasting tea, which with that kick of alcohol was a little bit disconcerting, and it was definitely a much stronger taste than the other liqueurs that we chose.
Yeah, it was alright.
I chose lychee and caramel, and the lychee one was really, really good. It was very sweet, and it didn't have any sort of alcoholic tang to it, and it just went well with the vanilla of the ice cream, and I guess the orangey taste that was already in the ice cream didn't like jar with it. And the caramel was also pretty good, but it had that kind of burnt taste that sometimes caramel can get, that I think was probably heightened by the fact that it was alcoholic. So I would rate my 3: lychee amazing, caramel good, and Darjeeling tea just okay. What did you get?
Well, I got chocolate and coconut.
Ooh,
I'm not really a big fan of liquor or
liqueur.
liqueurs. So liquor or liqueurs.
Oh. What about liquors from Resident Evil games?
I've never played a Resident Evil
It's
game.
like if a lizard was made out of people, and they crawl on the walls and the ceilings, and they use their tongues to decapitate people.
Lizard made out of multiple people.
No, like if you got a lizard, and instead of having a green lizard, it was like a human-shaped zombie lizard, but it still walked like a lizard and it had a long tongue like a lizard, but it looked like a dead person.
So I was imagining the lizard from Spider-Man, but not that.
I'll show
A
you.
zombie.
I'll show you a picture later. It's like a mutated zombie.
Alright, I'll look forward to that.
Mm.
So, yeah, I got the chocolate and coconut liqueurs, and my coconut one I thought was really, really nice. I highly recommend that to anybody who likes coconut, because, yeah, it went really well with the ice cream, because it was just plain vanilla ice cream, and I think that goes really well with coconut. The chocolate one kind of overpowered the taste of the ice cream a bit, and that they did go well together, but I was no longer able to taste the creaminess of the ice cream, and it really detracted from that.
Yeah, it's because the chocolate had its own kind of creaminess. Tasted more like a Bailey's, that chocolate one.
Yeah, it was like a Bailey's, but less alcoholic.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're done with the food part now.
Yeah, I think that we are. Oh no, wait, the biscuit at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get a complimentary biscuit at the end.
Yeah, part of this set. Mine was an egg-shaped one with an almond in it.
Mine was a rabbit.
I wasn't really a fan of the biscuit. I think it's more for show rather than taste.
Yeah.
And it just tasted a bit burnt because they keep them on a little hot plate to keep them warm. So the warm sensation of eating the warm biscuit after you've had all that cold ice cream is nice, but the taste, nothing to write home about really.
No, I found that Japanese biscuits aren't really very impressive.
No.
They're a big fan of the chocolate-covered biscuit, and they come up with some interesting shapes, but the actual taste themselves are not great.
Oh, and you got coffee as well. Alfie didn't drink his coffee. Yeah, I drank it. The coffee was really nice coffee. I think it's a nice, strong drip coffee. I don't know what country or whatever it was from, but it was quite a strong brew. It wasn't too bitter. It was kind of like a mellowy, smooth tasting coffee. I had it with milk, but you could probably put the ice cream in that and use the ice cream to make the coffee milky, and it would go together well.
Yeah, I feel like I got snubbed a bit with the coffee though, because everybody got very cute cups. They got cups in the shape of penguins and polar bears.
I
That was a
wanted
couple
polar
next to
bear
it.
cup so bad.
You got an elephant-shaped cup, which
I
was
don't
very
like
cute.
elephants.
Well, it was still very cute, and I got a plain cup.
It had a love heart in the handle though.
Yeah, but other than that, it was just a plain red cup. It was definitely the most uncute of any of the cups that they had. And that happened immediately after I was forced to have my ice cream refill when I wasn't ready. So I was quite unhappy with that.
I think you're reading too much into it. So, taste. Give it a grade.
So there were some really good things in there, but then there were some things that made it waver a bit. So I'm only going to give it a 4.
It's shocking.
It's not a perfect meal by any means. It was an interesting experience, but taste-wise, it's a 4, and it's really lucky to get that.
Okay. So, I think going off taste into price. So, we got the A course set menu, which was 1,390 yen, which got you 3 liqueurs basically, 2 flagons, as Alfie was saying, of ice cream, a coffee, a tiny biscuit, and some fluff, like the little crap and the Yuzuki beans and stuff like that. I think maybe it was a tiny bit on the expensive side. I don't really know the cost of liqueurs, but the amount that they gave you was probably less than a measure. So you got 2.5 measures. We got 2.5 measures between us of liqueur.
We've got loads of ice cream though, so I don't feel ripped off.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I know that liqueur is expensive, but I don't know
If it was good money.
I don't know if it was value for money.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't too bad price wise, but I would probably say that it was a tiny bit on the expensive side. So I would give it a 4 snowflakes out of 5 on price, just because I'm not sure how expensive alcohol is supposed to be. Because I don't really go out drinking, and if I do, I go to the convenience and buy something really cheap, or go for a Nomi Hard Eye.
Yeah, I'd agree with that full, because although it's quite expensive to just have a dessert, basically, there were some other places that were selling desserts and stuff for way more expensive.
Yeah.
It's right in the city centre, so it is quite good value for being right in the city centre.
I'd like to add as well, interestingly, after you've sat down and you've ordered your set menu and everything, it does tell you that they have a takeout menu and you can just get the ice cream for 350 yen.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you that because I thought you might be upset that we did this whole liqueur pouring thing when we could have just gone in and got some cones and
No, it's an interesting experience, and now we have material for our very high quality and popular.
not rambly
podcast.
at all.
People love rambly stuff. I listen to podcasts, and I'd say the more rambling, the better. It's got to go wildly off topic for me
That's
to
because you use
hold
it
my
to fall
interest.
asleep. So it's not
That's
really,
neither here nor there.
that's not really the target audience that we want. We don't want people to listen to us so that they can fall asleep.
You want hard
Bah!
hitting
Don't
news.
sleep. So yeah. Next thing. We done taste. We done price. Now we've got to do waiting time.
Okay, so waiting time next. How do you rate waiting time?
I was surprised at how long we had to wait for some ice cream.
Yeah, we waited maybe 20 minutes in that stairwell. Odd place to wait.
Yes, the whole wait in the stairwell thing was very disconcerting. I was worried that maybe I wasn't waiting for ice cream, I was waiting for hardcore drugs or something. Once we got our little token, the waiting time didn't feel like that long.
Yeah, I didn't think that the waiting time actually felt like that long, because the line seemed to move pretty quick. I was worried because there were quite a few people in that stairwell, but then they all went through pretty quick somehow.
Yeah. I
don't
think
know if
there was
there
some big groups in before us.
Maybe.
And
yeah.
they just, when they cleared them out, they could bring in smaller groups. So I think the worst part with the whole waiting thing was the very odd communication and miscommunication about where to wait and why we were waiting. But the waiting itself wasn't too bad. To be fair, they did provide cushions in the stairwell.
We were the only people who used them, but yeah.
Like, that's because we are geniuses and we know when to use a free cushion. So I would give waiting 3 just for the confusion. And also, they had English menus in the shop, but they didn't have any English instructions outside the shop about how anything worked, which isn't great.
Maybe it's not normally that busy. This is the
I
snow
think
festival.
maybe it is like uptrending, like
Maybe.
it's on the up and up. So I'm giving it a 3 just for the confusion factor. What about you?
Yeah. Maybe a 2.
A 2.
Yeah.
Very
good.
harsh.
Well, in Japan, you have usually no waiting
That's
time.
true. But we've had really bad luck here. Like, we got refused from one place, and then we waited. They said that it was a 10-minute wait, and then we waited like nearly 25 minutes for a tonkatsu. So
They were friendly, though. Maybe in Sapporo you just have to wait longer.
maybe,
It's a slower paced life here.
yeah.
So, what's our final category?
No, there's 2 categories left.
What are the other 2 categories?
There's atmosphere
Yeah.
and the aesthetics. I feel that the decor and the setting out of the tables and everything was really, really at odds with the product that they were serving. It was very kiddie and cutesy and la 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 fairyland, and then it's like, here's some alcohol.
No, because I think it's directed towards young women, and I think that it's actually quite a good marketing campaign. I think there's lots of people who would be interested in that.
Yeah. Alright. Well, let's agree to disagree. So I will give it a 3 because the decor was appealing and it was very interesting. There was a lot of things to look around and stuff, but I personally feel that it was at odds with its purpose.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. It was a bit hard to get around. It was a bit cramped.
Everyone's cramped.
Yeah, I feel like that in most places in Japan. So, I don't know. I'll give it a 3.
And the last one is atmosphere, how it made you feel. So I really liked it at first. I feel that the waitresses and waiters at first were really nice. One guy tried to speak English to us. The lady who showed us in was very nice. And the guy who served us was efficient. He wasn't very nice, he wasn't very mean, he was just very efficient. As the evening continued with Alfie's ice cream harassment, I did begin to feel a little bit rushed, like they wanted us out so that they could get the next people in, and I think that spoiled it a little bit. Probably a little bit more for Alfie because he felt like he was having his food taken away, but also for me, like, I was like, well, I guess I'm not wanted anymore. They were giving me my coffee before I was ready for it. They were giving me my biscuit before I was ready for it. They were trying to take my stuff away. And I know that they're very, very busy and everything, but it just made me feel a bit rushed.
Yeah, I felt very rushed as well, particularly with the ice cream incident. So, yeah, I think it was very good at first, but then we evidently took too long for them.
So I'm giving it a 2.
I'll agree with you on that. Yeah, 2.
I would give it a 1, but it is Saturday night.
A 1's a bit harsh. I've been made to feel much worse. In
Yeah,
other
no,
places.
that's
I
why-
was thinking a 2 was a bit harsh and was maybe going to go 3.
Well, no, because it wasn't that late or anything. But it is Saturday, so I just feel like if they know that they're that busy, that they should prepare for it better. Because they obviously had a waiting system sorted out, and they were telling people that they're going to wait so long. So if people were willing to wait that long, they should let them have the time once they get there. Like, we waited half an hour, we shouldn't feel rushed while we're in there.
Right, and on that note, I'm going to rush you and say, let's wrap up this podcast then.
Alright, that's all, bye.
No, well, so, would you recommend this cafe to a friend?
I would, actually. I probably wouldn't recommend that they go on a Saturday night, but it is open all day, so it might be something fun and interesting to do in the afternoon. Although alcohol is involved, there's really not enough to like put you over any limits or anything.
Yeah, I think it's a fun thing you could
continue
do.
going about your daily business. I wouldn't get in a car or anything because Japan has pretty zero tolerance on having alcohol in your system when you're driving, and I don't want to promote drink driving. But it wouldn't make you feel drunk or anything, so you could continue with your day shopping or whatever else you're doing in Sapporo after having liqueur ice cream, no problem.
Yeah, I think that it's a good thing that you can do with your friends. If you want to do it, it could be a precursor to drinking, but I think it's a much more slow-paced thing. I think you could even do it with your family, really, as long as you're all over the drinking age.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go alone, though.
No,
Maybe
it's not the kind of
lonely.
place to go alone.
No.
But yeah, it's definitely a fun, unique experience.
Maybe a very interesting third date.
Maybe.
Yeah. Show how quirky and cool you are. Like, you can take you to this ice cream bar and your dates are like, ice cream? That's so... What? Amazing! Yeah, that'll get you a kiss.
Maybe. That's really odd. That's not what I was thinking about at all while I was in there. Okay. So, I hope that you enjoyed our first full-length podcast on Japan and Japanese culture and what we're doing in our lives.
Tune in next time for something.
Yeah. So, you heard it here first. Hot scoop. Next time we'll be doing something. Look forward to that. Alright. Bye.
No, it's not.